The habit of creating imaginary dialogues in your head is perhaps the most universal and least confessed secret of the human experience. How many times have you caught yourself walking around the house whispering the perfect comebacks to an argument that happened 3 days ago, or meticulously rehearsing what you would say to your boss on Monday? To an outsider, it might look like madness, or even a worrying sign of being disconnected. But modern psychology reveals that this self-talk isn't insanity, it's a cutting-edge biological model. Your mind isn't just wandering, it's running complex simulations, testing risk scenarios, and calibrating your emotions for the future. In this video, we're going to open the black box of this cognitive phenomenon. We'll explain why your brain invests so much energy in creating scripts for things that never happened and maybe never will, and how this works as a safety lab for your psyche. Science identifies 4 vital hidden functions behind these daydreams: problem solving, anxiety control, social preparation, and identity consolidation. However, we will also explore the fine line where a healthy habit turns into maladaptive daydreaming, a compulsive escape from reality that can paralyze your life and indicate deep dissatisfactions or even disorders like Mythomania. Prepare to understand that the voices in your head aren't enemies, they are rehearsals for your own evolution, as long as you know when to step off the stage and step into real life. The first mechanism to understand is scenario simulation for problem solving. The human brain is a predictive machine. It hates being caught off guard. When you create an imaginary dialogue where you confront someone or resolve a conflict, your mind is using imagination as a flight simulator. It tests hypotheses. If I say X, they'll respond with Y, but if I say Z, maybe they'll understand. It's a low-cost, low-risk mental rehearsal. If you mess up in an imaginary dialogue, there are no real consequences. No one gets hurt, and you don't lose your job. This freedom allows you to explore creative solutions and negotiation strategies that, under the pressure of a real-life moment, would be too risky. So, when you find yourself arguing with a wall, know that your prefrontal cortex is working hard to ensure that when the real situation arrives, you already have the script ready. It's preparation, not hallucination. Beyond solving logical problems, these dialogues fulfill a vital function: emotional regulation. Often, we use our imagination as a mechanism to regulate anxiety and stress. When you relive a situation where you were humiliated, but this time you imagine giving the perfect comeback and coming out on top, your brain releases a dose of dopamine and serotonin similar to what it would release if you had actually won. The brain can't fully distinguish between what is real and what is imaginary. It simply accepts the chemical response as truth. This restores the sense of power and dignity that was wounded in reality. This is a technique frequently used in therapy to reframe a painful past. It's a way of licking your psychic wounds. Imaginary dialogue allows you to process difficult emotions like anger, grief, or fear in a controlled environment. You can scream at your boss in your head, which relieves tension, without getting fired in real life. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done this. This private catharsis prevents the emotional pressure cooker from exploding at the wrong time. The third hidden function is social preparation. For people who are shy, anxious, or introverted, social interaction can be terrifying. Mental rehearsal acts as social skills training. Before a party, a romantic date, or a presentation, the mind simulates possible conversations. What do I say if there's a silence? How do I respond if they ask about my job? By rehearsing, the brain creates neural pathways of familiarity. When the real situation happens, it's no longer new to the brain. It's something it has already lived dozens of times in its imagination. This drastically reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and boosts confidence. It's the same visualization technique used by Olympic athletes. They imagine the perfect race before taking the first step. You are doing the same for the race of social life.
The fourth positive function of these dialogues is self-knowledge and focus. By debating with yourself, you are in fact refining your values and beliefs. Do I agree with this? Why did I say that? It's a form of continuous self-analysis. You reinforce your identity and maintain focus on your long-term goals, reminding yourself of who you want to be and what you need to do. However, there is a dangerous tipping point. When these dialogues stop being a preparation for life and become a substitute for it, we enter the territory of maladaptive daydreaming. Here, imagination stops being a tool and becomes a refuge. If reality is painful, boring, or frustrating, the mind creates a parallel world where everything is perfect. In this world, you are loved, wealthy, famous, and understood. The danger is that this world is addictive. It offers high emotional rewards without requiring any real effort. Why go out and try to make friends and risk rejection if in your head you are already the center of attention? This escapism leads to a progressive disconnection. A person begins to neglect work, studies, and real relationships to spend more time in their mental Netflix. Dissatisfaction with one's current life increases as it never compares to the perfection of the imaginary script. Daydreaming, which should be a springboard for action, becomes a quicksand of inertia. In more severe cases, this habit can evolve into or be associated with mythomania, pathological lying. The person spends so much time polishing their internal narratives that they begin to have difficulty distinguishing fact from fiction. They might start telling the stories they've imagined as if they were real, seeking the same validation in the outside world that they created in their internal one. I almost got hired for that position, they might say, when in reality, they never even sent the resume. They only imagined the interview. The lie serves to protect the idealized self-image they built during their daydreams. Beyond the distortion of truth, there is the problem of paralysis. Excessive mental simulation can lead to analysis paralysis. The person rehearses so much and predicts so many variables that the moment for real action always feels inadequate or too risky. They procrastinate in real life because real life is imperfect, messy, and unpredictable. They prefer to stay in eternal rehearsal rather than debuting the play. Daydreaming consumes the cognitive energy that should be used to execute actual tasks. By the end of the day, the person is mentally exhausted, feeling as though they've worked hard in their head, but without having produced anything concrete. It's a cycle of frustration where the mind is hyperactive, but life is stagnant.
The key to dealing with imaginary dialogues is not to silence them, but to govern them. Let me repeat that. The key to dealing with imaginary dialogues is not to silence them, but to govern them. They are useful personal development tools as long as you are the director, not the hostage. Use simulation to prepare, but set a limit. I'm going to rehearse this conversation for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to take action. If you notice that daydreaming is replacing real life, it's time to raise a red flag. Mindfulness techniques help ground the mind in the present. Focusing on the sensation of the water in the shower, the taste of your food, or the sounds of the street brings the mind back to the now. If the habit is compulsive and is causing functional impairment, meaning you stop eating, sleeping, or working just to imagine, it may be necessary to seek psychological help. Therapy helps you understand what in your real life is so unbearable that it demands this constant escape. By resolving real-world pain, the need for imaginary anesthesia diminishes.
In the end, your mind is an incredible laboratory. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself. The greatest geniuses, artists, and leaders have all done it. Use this power to create futures, not to escape the present or live in the past. Turn your internal monologue into a dialogue with life. Reality may not be as perfect as your imagination, but it has one unbeatable advantage. It's real, and life only happens in the real world. Your daydreams are just drafts. have the courage to write the final copy on the pages of reality. Today, we explored the secret world of internal dialogues. We saw how they serve to solve problems, calm anxiety, and train skills. We understood the risks of escapism and the importance of coming back down to earth. If this video helped you understand that you're not crazy, just creative, leave a like. It's a sign that you're present. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. We'll continue to talk about the mysteries of the human mind every single week. And I want to challenge you in the comments. What is the imaginary scenario you create most often? Winning the lottery? Arguing with someone? Share it with us. Let's see how similar our mental scripts really are. Thanks for watching. Get out of your head and into your life. Until next time.